Sorry, I had to switch microphones. Knock them dead as we prepare for Ultra Cakecore Victors coming up right after this. We'll see you guys in a bit.
That picture up. Usually it's the blurry ass, outdated spider looking thing, but you know, the profile picture that I had a couple of years ago. So I'm not gonna do what Yoshiller said, mainly because I had no caffeinated beverages, and I'm not gonna go off and off like that. But now that the attraction of the show has since passed, it is time for me to take control of this live stream. And by take control, I just mean talk over it. Obviously, OBS is still in the hands of everyone else in the event that they're running very smoothly. I must say, and I say that unsarcastically. Usually I would say that sarcastically, but I mean it sincerely this time. What they didn't run smoothly, though, was their opinions during the bracket breakdown. And I'm going to go over this because a few people are now active in chat that weren't during it. So it was Mario Kart 64 courses. Not 64 courses, Mario Kart 64 space courses. And it was the 8 most voted courses through a number of polls. And hi Tuna, hi Snowy, and of course I will be reacting to chat. Through all this, I have chat open. So we had the 8 most voted for courses through a number of polls, through a number of social medias. The link was sent. And for right off the bat, we had Toad's Turnpike and Koopa Troopa Beach. And these two, I will say, a few days before the event, Pat and I were talking. This is when the whole Netherite conversation happened, same night. And it was just Pat and I, we were talking for so long about Mario Kart 64. And I was like, you know, due to technical reasons, I couldn't be there. I couldn't be on Bracket Breakdown because not everyone would have been able to hear me. But to miss out on this was a bracket that I didn't know was possible, but I would have so loved to be a part of because I have so many things to say. In that first round, Toad's Turnpike versus Koopa Troopa Beach. Pat and I were talking about the courses. These were our 2 favorites. There was a top 4. I would say both of these courses were in our top 3. In my top 3 at least. I really like both of them. My youngest sister actually is a Koopa Troopa Beach aficionado. She knows pretty much everything there is about doing the shortcut without the mushrooms. Like, you have to well time that jump. Very good at that. And this is a staple in our Mario Kart 64 nights, which we still have. Mario Kart 64 is a game that I still play regularly, and Toad's Turnpike and Koopa Troopa Beach are 2 of my favorite courses in the game, if not my 2 favorite courses. We'll get to other courses later. And it was a close vote, 2-3, the tiebreaker going to Koopa Troopa Beach. I actually, watching this, went back and forth quite a lot here. Whoever donated ponytails, feel free to DM me who gets it. Someone donated ponytails. And speaking of ponytails, hello Pandemonious. Welcome to the chats, at least on the YouTube side the Twitch side of things. Hasn't been a YouTube chat in quite a while. And Toad's Turnpike, I feel like while the vote was going on, I felt like I wanted Toad's Turnpike to win. Not $5 amount of wanting Toad's Turnpike to win. So I held off on donating on that one. Although Koopa Troopa Beach, someone donated. I just saw the donation tick up just now. I'm going to go check to see what that was. Give Pat a buzz cut from Charles. I have an idea who that is, but a certain animal in the chat just donated for Give Pat a buzz cut. And there's another $5 donation for Give Someone 5 mini hair ties, and I believe that one is going for Caleb. But I was okay with either Koopa Troopa Beach or Toad's Turnpike winning. I was more on the side of Toad's Turnpike just because I like how it is. Koopa Troopa Beach, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I am not mad with at all for that one winning. And then Wario Stadium versus DK Jungle Parkway. There's not much to say here. I don't know how much time I have left before they inevitably cut me off to do the donations. I hope I have the time. Jungle Parkway deservedly gets shut out 5-0 against Wario Stadium. And then going down the list, we have Rainbow Road losing 2-3 to Yoshi Valley, and a Bowser Castle winning 3-2 against Block Fort. Now, I was thinking I would go through a imaginary losers bracket, so we would have Toad's Turnpike versus DK Jungle Parkway. Now, what I want to say about Toad's Turnpike is I love the aesthetic to it, and I love the challenge to it. And there's one thing in this course that is never replicated. I think it is replicated in the Double Dash course that has cars, and I think the DS one as well. But in the remake of Toad's Turnpike for Mario Kart 8, they don't do this. The cars drive toward you on mirror mode. And I thought that was such a great attention to detail in the original game. And that was the challenge in that court and in that game. That was the most challenging thing to do, was Toad's Turnpike on mirror mode. And now DK Jungle Parkway, I appreciate the aesthetic. I think they said it best. That is the best looking course in the game. But I would say that other than that, it really doesn't have much to it. I feel that it is the most forgettable course out of probably the entire game, if not the second most forgettable course. I'm probably forgetting what the most forgettable course is. But DK Jungle Parkway, I am surprised that it even got on the bracket. It has a nice jump over a boat. Getting onto that bridge is kind of it can be difficult. I wouldn't say that I've ever had much problem with it, but you can get stuck on that fence along the bridge. Toad's Turnpike, I feel like it should have passed round 1, so it passes round 1 in the losers bracket. And now we have Rainbow Road versus Block Fort. And here's the thing, and I know it was a surprise. It was a close vote, and I've donated to get Yoshi Valley past that part. But I want to say Rainbow Road, I love the music. I love the aesthetic. I love that it's in space and there are fireworks somehow in space with all the characters, and it feels like a celebration, but not a course. And that's what we're ranking these things on. So Yoshi Valley, I would have hoped to really get beyond, beyond a 3-2 victory here, if not 4-1, if not 5-0. And I was surprised to hear Pat say that if it were not for the donation, his vote would have gone to Rainbow Road. Because when we were talking in our night before, he said that Rainbow Road was overrated, and I said the exact same thing. Not to say that it's a bad course at all, but I think that people view it as more than it is. Now with Block Fort, I think going against Bowser's Castle, I have a soft spot for Bowser's Castle. And I know that it is a little overrated. I think that it would be people like to think that it's overrated, me included, but I have a soft spot for Bowser's Castle. I think in our Mario Kart 64 nights, Bowser's Castle is like the thing to duke it out on. One of the things to duke it out on. But Block Fort being the only battle course in this map, or in this pool, is it really sets it apart. But when it comes to Rainbow Road versus Block Fort, look, Rainbow Road is like a 5-minute, it's like a 6-minute long course. Block Fort, and I know you can't really say it, but I guess for what Block Fort is for the battle courses is iconic. Block Fort was brought back. It is continually referenced in many other medias outside of Mario Kart. There's a very popular CSGO map on the workshop. I know that we like to play on a lot. Rainbow Road is I like the 8 version better than the 64 version. Nothing will beat the 64 music, and nothing will beat the feeling of playing on Rainbow Road for probably the first time. But what I don't understand was when Daniel was trying to argue for, it's a marathon, it's an intense marathon. Usually I don't get that. Usually for Rainbow Road and 64, and if not every time, all the racers are spread out, and there is no climbing. There is no changing place unless someone is hit like 5 times in a row with one of those chain chomps, and the chain chomps is like the only positive. Unless something drastic like that happens, there is no changing in place. The red shells, they only hit the walls. Green shells, they hit you more than other people. So I think Block Fort will beat Rainbow Road in my losers bracket. So now I'm going to bring in the round 2 losers. So we have Toad's Turnpike versus Koopa Troopa Beach. So we have a rematch for round 1. Here's what I would like to have said about round 1. I've commented a lot about this on round 1. But for the sake of my losers bracket, I'm just going to have Toad's Turnpike beating out Koopa Troopa Beach because Koopa Troopa Beach already had a chance in the top bracket, and it was close enough for me. I'm going to let Toad's Turnpike take this W here. And now we have a rematch of Block Fort versus Bowser's Castle. And while I think Block Fort beats Rainbow Road, I do not think that it beats Bowser's Castle. I think that Bowser's Castle is a great course. It has the thwomps in the beginning. So you go through the courtyard at the beginning, and then you go through thwomp number A, or like letter A, with the cage. The cage is a very nice touch. And you go through, and admittedly, the room is blank. The room is square. They probably planned something for that room. Never did anything with it. But then you get to the long hallway, where the two thwomps are, they kind of like follow you down, and then you have like a wall of 3 thwomps beyond that. And then you get to your like third major obstacle, which is like all of the they're like shifting from side to side. I always view that as a minor obstacle. But then, oh my god! And then you go through the narrow bridge, and the narrow bridge I like because I was able to do the bridge no problem. No bragging though. I mean, no bragging, but which is usually where I would take the lead in the first lap or so. And you go through the bush garden, and then up the spiral tower, and then you jump over a few lava pits, and that's just one lap. And I was able to like just relive the course. I like that course, and I have to say I do like it more than Block Fort. So Bowser's Castle will take another W over Block Fort. So now we have Toad's Turnpike versus Bowser's Castle, and which one would I prefer to win in this losers bracket, or at least have a chance to go up against Wario Stadium? Let's see, Bowser's Castle, Toad's Turnpike. Toad's Turnpike, I would have liked to see go a lot farther than it did. Only getting out in round 1, and they were sleeping on it a lot. And I know it was a close 2-3 vote, but I feel like compared to Bowser's Castle, right? I'm actually trying to think of what to say here. Toad's Turnpike, the shells actually work in Toad's Turnpike. I feel like even so, the straightaways, right? There are these straightaways, and shells actually work on the straightaways. But when I say straightaway, it's not a boring straightaway, right? It's not a Luigi's Raceway straightaway. You are also dodging cars, and I feel like the course itself complements the obstacles. And I know that the obstacles might seem a little bit unrealistic, but with as many props as I am giving to a Toad's Turnpike, and I'm kind of split here because I really like Toad's Turnpike and I really like Bowser's Castle. But if I were to remove one course from the game, I believe it would be... Oh, geez, I was just about to say Bowser's Castle, but now I'm second-guessing myself. And I know I have that soft spot for Toad's Turnpike. And I know it's not because it's named after Toad, which is my main. Oh, they're doing some weird camera movement in the background there that I'm just getting to see now because my stream is probably on a delay. Either one of these, they will win. They will have to go up against Wario Stadium. And I have some things to say about Wario Stadium. It is the second longest course in the game, next to, just behind that is Rainbow Road. And I really like, again, the aesthetic of it. How it's kind of like, a lot of obstacles in the road. It feels like a monster truck arena, but you're driving on it with go-karts. Lots of wide open places. All of the turns are pretty wide, actually. When Trent was saying how he was able to drift around DK Jungle Parkway better than Wario Stadium, I was questioning whether he had even played the game at all. which he said he've only played once. So that's where his opinion lies on that. So I would say, actually, Toad's Turnpike, I think, beats Bowser's Castle. But I don't know if it beats Wario Stadium. I think Wario Stadium was a decent runner-up. But nothing beats Yoshi Valley. I want to say why Yoshi Valley wins this. And they were talking about the different paths, and that's because as like a first time, a second time, a third time racer, the race is a mystery. Now on Mario Kart 8, which this game, actually, Bowser's Castle. Look, here's the thing, and I just saw Panda's message here. This was so the Toad's Turnpike. After I said it beat Bowser's Castle, I immediately rethought it in my mind. And I was like, no, I'm just going to keep talking past that. That was so close to me. And I think it's because I'm trying to justify having Toad's Turnpike win over Bowser's Castle in my mind. So I still, after sitting on this for so long, still do not know which way to go. So I think for your case, we'll do Bowser's Castle, right? But still, Bowser's Castle or Toad's Turnpike, I think Wario beats Toad, but Bowser beats Wario. But nothing beats Yoshi Valley. That's where I stand on that. And when it got brought back from Mario Kart 8, Yoshi Valley, that is, and I'm so glad that it got brought back from Mario Kart 8, there is an obvious path, and it's you go left at the beginning, and then you go left again, and it's the narrow bridge, and it's like the rickety narrow bridge. Everyone does it. In 64, actually, when we have those like porcupine little rat-looking mouse things, in the center path. So you go left first, and then you go right. And that is the fastest path in Mario Kart 64. But you have lots of those like porcupine-looking things, and they will spin you out if you touch them. So the fastest non-hazardous path is the narrow bridge. But it is still hazardous because that bridge is narrower in 64 than it is in Mario Kart 8. And it is still the second fastest path. So it's still homage to that. I've never really, I mean, obviously as a kid, I explored the map so many times. I did go right a couple of times on the first, but I go right if I want to handicap myself a little bit. I don't know. I feel like there's nothing really special there. And yes, there are shortcuts in Yoshi Valley. You can on that first turn when you first exit the maze-like part of the map. You can actually do a drift boost and jump from the upper part to the lower part and skip that one. I know that Turbo Kart Races was inspired by Mario Kart, but I would be clueless on which Hypixel map mirrors which Nintendo map. Oh, we're talking about Turbo Kart Racers on Hypixel. See, I'm rarely big on racing games, but Mario Kart, despite being a racing game, is one of my favorite series, period, and that's it. I feel like Smash I get tired on very quickly. Mario Kart I do not. So if I were to rank these, it would be Yoshi Valley, absolute first. Then it would be like Toad's Turnpike, Bowser's Castle, Wario Stadium, Koopa Troopa Beach. All of those are like pretty even in my mind. Actually, I would say Koopa Troopa Beach, because I think about Koopa Troopa Beach, and now here's the thing. And now I'm thinking about how good that course is. How like you can either go for the shortcut, you can go the normal way, or you can go on the sandbar that like is either there or either not. It depends on where the water is at that time, which is the one that's way off to the right after the rock formation. But I would say that Toad's Turnpike and Bowser's Castle narrowly beat that one out. Wario Stadium on equal footing with them. And then we have Rainbow Road, DK Jungle Parkway. They're kind of, they're below those. And I'm surprised that DK Jungle Parkway even got a spot on this one. Block Fort, I do like our battle mode representation, but if it were up to me, I would have preferred Skyscraper, but Block Fort is iconic enough. They're on equal footing for me. And those are the comments I would have loved to made on the bracket breakdown. I believe we do got to get back to the live stream at some point a bit. And I'm sorry to, and I know during this, we were talking about how no one in chat really, aside maybe Pandemonious, is well versed in Mario Kart, especially the older Mario Kart games. And this was my and originally, and I don't want to say cliche, I don't want to sound cliche when I say this, but when I was told I had to fill 20 minutes, I didn't know what I wanted to talk about. And this was absolutely true. And going into this, I was going to tell a completely different story until I heard what they had to say about bracket breakdown, and I was like, there are too many loose ends here. I would love to have my piece. Mario Kart DS is the best Mario Kart game. Let's make this clear. Pandemonious is completely correct in chat. The drifting in that game is far above everything else. And I know it's mostly, and I know I say this mostly through rose-tinted glasses, through the bus rides to and from school. But everyone would be so hype on Mario Kart DS. And the way that you can just see the mini-map, you can strategize on which different people have which different items. That information is readily available to you. God, that is a great game. Anyway, back to you, Pat. If you are here, I heard your voice briefly. 100%ed it twice. That is, and oh my god, mission mode. Mission mode. How has that not been brought back? That's a fully single-player mode with like not even just Grand Prix, not even just versus races. Like they give you objective. It's like they made maps for it. There are boss fights. You have to complete objectives through maps or through preset maps or through custom-made maps for that. How do they not bring mission mode back? I feel like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Hello, Deluxe. Bring back the balloon battle. The balloon battle. Oh my god! And Pandemonious just brought it up in chat now. The balloon battle is the definitive balloon battle in Mario Kart DS. Not even to mention, no, I think Shine Runners was in what was Mario Kart 4? That was Double Dash, right? Shine Runners in Double Dash? Double Dash is probably actually... I think I played Super Mario Kart more than I had Double Dash. Yeah, I'm surprised you're saying this, Panda. You 100%ed the game? Did you do mission mode? Come on. Yeah, it's like you had to like knock Thwomp, or you had to knock for some of the boss fights was like you had to knock Big Bully off of the platform like a sumo match. You had to chase around King Boo. You had to chase around King Boo or evade it.
You see that?
You had to complete X amount of course in a certain time. You had to do shines. Am I right, Pat? Like Mario Kart DS.
I heard the whole thing. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. We're going to be transitioning over to Cakecore Victors, which you're joining, right?
Which I am a part of, yeah. Or I'm not a part of, but cool. It's optional, but I will be joining it.
Anyone in chat is welcome to join as well. Yeah, it's going to be 1.12.2, so you have to boot up a really old version.
All right.
But thanks, Spods, and I'll see you for the Mario Kart segment.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
And the Walls UHC, I believe, is before them too, and Among Us.
The Walls UHC. Okay, cool.
And Among Us.
All right, I'll see you then, fellas.